Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Pure South Pastures Farm. This morning is a big day. Chicks are in. So we're going to take you along with us this morning. We're going to the post office to pick up chicks. That is, to pick up baby chicks, chicks. And so we're going to go to the post office, grab those, come back. We'll let you see how we have our brooder set up, and we're going to be doing some videos along the way. What are the processes from day old chicks, which are picking up from the post office, all the way out to pasture and then to processing. So just follow along with us, hang out with us here at Pure South Pastures, and we'll be doing a lot of chicken videos along with other cow videos and pig stuff too. So hang in with us today. Let's go pick up baby chicks.
This can be a cool shot.
All right, y'all, so I'm right out here outside the brooder, and as we got these baby chicks in today, I just want to show you what we do on the first day and explain to you our brooder setup so that maybe you can prepare your own. And you can do brooders a lot of different ways. The way we do it's not how you have to do it. You can do a lot smaller scale. So we got 85 baby chicks today, and we'll do 5 or 6 rounds of those this year. And the reason that we do 85 is because right now we have 2 chicken tractors, and by the time we have a few death loss, which you're gonna have almost with every round, then we're just about the number that we'll need for our chicken tractors. So anyway, let me show you. We plan to do a series of videos on chicks all the way through the process. And so I'm showing you day 1, and I'll show you the brooder setup, and you can ask questions or whatever if you have any thoughts or questions about this. So let me show you how it's set up. All right, so pardon the mess. This is a wood shed here, and we built this. Let me back up where you can see it. We built this this screen door to come inside, and the brooder, this is just a walking space. There's a roll-up door here, which is nice for when we're taking shavings out, things like that. But this space is just, we created a walk space so that we have plenty of room to work. And then we made 3, actually it's 2, but it's split up into 2 sections. It's a half wall. And so we just built a very simple half wall, and there's a half wall that runs this way. And so we actually have 2 brooder spaces. This is the same size as that side, but we've got that one covered up right now just to keep some heat in there. So we actually could run 100 chicks over here and 100 chicks over here. We could get these in at a certain time and run them over here, and then we could kind of stagger them out to pasture. And as we build more chicken trackers, we will do that. That's the plan. So we're planning ahead a little bit. If we wanted to do a couple different kind of chickens, then we can do that. But anyways, we got the styrofoam insulation so that it'll trap the heat in from the heat lamps. And I'll come around here where you can see. This morning when we brought the chicks in, it's pretty cool. And we left the heat lamps on all night last night, got the shavings warmed up, and just trying to get ready for the chicks to come. We always like to do that. We had the drinkers already set up, as you can see in there, the quart drinkers and the food. And so it was all ready to go when the chicks got here this morning when we went and got them from the post office. So this is a large space, but in 2 weeks, they're going to be quite a bit bigger. They're going to be larger than they are now. Obviously, they'll need more space. So, yeah, this works well for us for this number of birds. Now, we don't use those quart drinkers forever because, I mean, you just spend a lot of time refilling them. But let me warn you. One of the mistakes we made when we first started getting baby chicks was we had some larger drinkers, we had some gallon and some few gallon drinkers, and they have a large lip around the edge of them. And what was happening was our baby chicks were climbing into the water. And if you know anything about baby chicks, day-old chicks, they need to stay around 95 degrees. They can't get cold. So that's why we've got so much heat on them right here. And you can see they're under the lamp, but they're not just piling on top of each other. And so we changed to these on the first couple of days. We keep these quart drinkers in here because they can't climb into them. They have such a small lip around the edge. They can just stick their beak in there. So that, to me, that was a big learning curve. So we do that for about 2 to 3 days, and then we'll put the larger drinkers in. And by that time, they're acclimated to getting around. They don't jump off in the water. Also, the round plastic thing is actually a drip pan for a hot water heater. So it's flipped upside down, and we do that so that the waterers are up off of the shavings, because if they're in the shavings, they're just going to get filled with pine shavings. So that's a big deal too. So that's our brooder setup. Day-old chicks need to be 90 to 95 degrees. So we want to keep them nice and toasty, keep them nice and warm, and then over time, we begin to wean them back from that temperature and kind of harden them off a little bit before we take them out to pasture. So they'll be in here for about 2 weeks, and then we'll move them out. All right, so this is our setup, and just a couple of things that I want to go over with you. Things that you're going to need. Obviously, you have to have drinkers or waterers, and you have to feeders, and there are a lot of different options on that. The reason that we go with long feeders instead of the round ones that you dump in is because it gives more surface area or more length for birds to line up. On the round ones, there's just not enough, to me, unless you're going to have a whole bunch of them, there's not enough room for them to gather around it. And so we always feed with longer feeders so that they can, even out in the pasture, we do that as well, so that they can get up close. So you got to have waterers, you got to have drinkers, you got to have heat lamps, obviously, so that they'll stay warm. Hey, let me show you this real quick too while we're talking about that, heat lamps. So this is set up on a chain system. It's very simple. This is just like a 1x that these are connected to, and they're safety strapped on there so that they're not going to come off. But then it goes to this chain system, and the chain goes up and to a hook so that we can vary the length. We can change the length up and down. So in a couple of days, we'll start raising the heat lamps up. As the birds get bigger, we'll raise it up, and so that way the whole system, the whole lighting system, can go up and down with those with the need for temperature to be warmer or cooler. I think that's important too. So you got to have some heat lamps. You have to have food. We feed a certified non-GMO feed, and starting out, sorry, my hand's in the way. Starting out, we feed them a 21% ration, and then when they get out on pasture, we'll back that off to a grower that's 18%. So that's certified non-GMO, and it's a really great feed. And I'm just telling you, You know, this is something that so many people can do. You don't have to have a room like this to be able to raise baby chicks. I mean, if you're going to raise, 20 or 30, you can have. I mean, you can put them. You've seen them at Tractor Supply in the stores. You can raise them in a much smaller area, a container, some kind of brooder where you can keep them warm. I will warn you that as these chickens get older, they produce a lot of manure, and so you have to continue to put shavings in. You gotta have shavings to keep it dry and to keep it clean. And so when you start smelling an ammonia smell, you just bring the pine shavings in and just put it right over the top of the ones that are there, and that does a great job of killing that ammonia smell and cleaning it up and keeping it dry. You don't want to create a moist environment for these chickens. It's not good for them at all. And so you're gonna have some death loss with some baby chicks. It's just part of it. I hate it, but it normally happens. But if you take good care of them, keep them warm, feed them good food, keep clean water. We even put electrolytes and probiotic in the water. I know a lot of people put apple cider vinegar, and that's good too, just to help their immune system. But anyway, there's lots of things you can do. But what I want you to know is you can do this. That's the goal of this series about chickens. You can do this. If you have a large yard and you don't live in a place where your POA prevents you from having chickens in your neighborhood, then you can do this. If you live in the country and you have a little bit of space, but you're not doing livestock, but you want to raise your own food, you can do this. You can do it, I'm telling you. So just let me encourage you. You got to be prepared. You got to plan ahead and get all the stuff ready and have a way to process them. You need to either figure out how you're going to process them yourself or find a processor that will process them for you. But plan all of that out and pull the trigger and raise some chickens, raise some wonderful meat for your family. You can do it. I'm telling you, this is something that before raising our own chickens, I kind of thought chicken was chicken, but I'm telling you, chicken's not just chicken. It's not just like any other chicken. It really is a great tasting, and you can tell a great difference. It's wonderful. It's a great high quality protein for your family. So anyway, all that to say, you can do this, and I just want to encourage you today. Follow with us on this journey as we watch these chicks grow up, as we go through the whole process from day one all the way to out on pasture, and then we'll show you how we do that, and then we'll show you about processing and all of that. So I want you to see this whole journey and you to realize that this isn't, it's not so hard that no one can do it. With a little bit of effort, a little bit of planning, and a little bit of hard work, you can do this and you can have wonderful meat for your family. So jump in there and do that. Hey, thank you today for joining us here at Pure South Pastures. It's so good to share the journey with you, and I hope you're learning along with us, because we are definitely learning. I'm going to name I'm going to begin to hashtag all of our videos Learning to Farm, because that's what we're doing. But we just love being able to bring this kind of content to you, and if it means something to you, or if you followed along with us all the way to the end of the video today, would you hit the subscribe button? Would you hit a like for us? I know it may not seem like a big deal to you, but that helps our channel a ton. If you understand YouTube algorithms, it just helps us get this content in front of other people, and that's a big, big deal. And by the way, check this out. 91% of people that watch our content are not subscribers, partly because we're a new channel. But to me, I'm thinking all these people are watching, but so many people aren't subscribed yet. So would you do that? Subscribe for us and follow along. Let's take this whole chicken journey together. And before we're done, I believe that you're going to feel like, hey, I'm equipped to be able to do some meat birds, some pastured poultry for my family. We can raise broilers, or if you want to do some of the other kind of birds that whether you do Cornish cross, or some of the Red Rangers, or whatever, you can raise some chickens for your family. It'll be a great experience. Hey, God bless you. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you have a great day. And I just believe that God's going to keep his hand on you and bless you in all that you do. Have a great day.